Hello, welcome to a Netflix series review, Alter Carbon. I saw the preview a few days ago and it looked really slick, so I was excited to see. I'm a big sci-fi fan, so I must say that it was not an easy series for me to watch in the beginning. It took about 4 episodes into the series for me to enjoy the show. I mean, I struggled through the first 4 episodes, and it's hard for me to put the finger why it didn't really work for me in the first 4 episodes. Regardless, right from the get-go, I think the look of the show is fantastic. Perhaps the production team is a huge fan of Blade Runner because it oozes homage to Blade Runner, the movie, both the original Blade Runner and the sequel. It has that Blade Runner look, from all the neon to the trench coat, to the noodle shop on the side of the street. You name it. There's a lot of things that you know had that feel of Blade Runner in that world. And you know the cast, for the most part, I'm familiar with. The actor that I think Chris Connor is the, I believe he's British. I could be wrong, but he was in that show Rome. That was the first time that I saw him. And then he was on that Fox show, The Following, where he played a cult leader, which was really creepy. I like him, but for this show, I think he was the least interesting character. The show is, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it basically centered around his murder. The main crime is trying to solve his murder, and I thought that the secondary storyline was more interesting. I think that is why the first 3 or 4 episodes didn't really work for me, because I really didn't find the storyline where solving the crime, his death or his murder, was all that interesting. Now, as far as Joel Kinnaman, I'm sure many people are familiar with him from RoboCop to Suicide Squad, to other shows. He's okay. I found that his character was, it's nothing. I don't think it was good or bad, but it took a long time for me to warm up to him, especially in the beginning. Once the backstory of his past start to fill in, that's when it became that's when he became interesting to me. Same thing with his partner. She's a Mexican actress, which I have never seen before. I think she did a fine job as well. The chemistry between her and Joel Kinnaman, Kovac, was very odd in the beginning, but as the backstory start to filled in, then it makes more sense, and I enjoyed their relationship more and interaction between those two main characters. So it works about halfway through. About halfway through the season, when things start to unfold and become clearer, I enjoyed it. Now, the premise of the show is good. I like what the show is about. I just found that it was odd that they chose something like 250 years or something like that, where he woke up in a different body. Why such a large gap? To me, it was kind of silly that somebody that had been asleep for 250 years woke up in a new body, and yet there was almost no fish out of water moment, as if like technology, everything from the weapons to everything was like nothing new or shocking or surprise to him. So that took me out of the story in the first few episodes, and then 3 or 4 episodes into the show, I kind of just like, oh, whatever. But for sure, the show opened with a bang. The action sequence of this series was top notch, in my opinion. It might be a Netflix show, but it is as good as you're gonna find it in many action movie, if not even better. The sword fight, no doubt. Joel Kinnaman did a fantastic job action wise, as well as acting competent. But as the story unfold, no doubt the backstory of Joel Kinnaman previous life became more of the focal point and more interesting point. The murder mystery is just a side story for me, not all that interesting, even when it's wrapped up, and how it intertwined with Joel Kinnaman past. It's okay. Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm pleased that I was able to go through the first 3 or 4 episodes and not give up on the show. Maybe I'm in the minority that felt that way, but for sure I felt that the second half of the season was much more interesting than the first half. Other than that, that's nothing more to say about this series. I think it's worth watching if you're a sci-fi fan. Thank you for watching my review. Until the next series on Netflix, bye bye.